going on, guys? Thanks for joining me today. We're going to cover Lords Mobile jewels. How do jewels work? Where to get jewels? How to remove the jewels that we've embedded into the equipment? What are the top jewels to use and keep? Then we'll talk about the different jewel colors from white, green, blue, purple, gold, and lastly we'll end with some general jewel tips and hacks. Alright, so first up, let's get the technical setup. What are jewels? Jewels are gems that can be inserted into the gears to make them more stronger, and they are hard to collect without paying money. That is sad news for the free-to-play players, and take a very long time to build up. But the good thing about the jewels is that your enemies and allies cannot see them. So they may be able to see your gear, but they do not see the jewels that's embedded inside. Yeah? So they do not see the bottom part. Okay, so next up, where to get the jewels? Okay, so we are talking about where to get the jewels. There's basically around 5 ways that you can get the jewels. Firstly is of course from purchasing the gem mall. Look for, I think, things like sack of jewels. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So let's see whether there's any sack of jewels gem pack inside the events right now. Seems like do not have. Oh, gems. Okay, not gems, it's jewels, jewels, jewels. It seems like there isn't a sack of jewels that is on sale in the gem mall right now, so using money is one of them. And sadly, this is the most effective and fast method to get all the jewels to go. But if not, if you are a free-to-play player like me, then there's 4 other ways. Firstly is Guild Fest. So now we are in the middle of a Guild Fest, and you can see the prizes. You see? You get Cavalry Attack Jewel here. You'll get Cavalry Defense Jewel. So basically from the rewards of the Guild Fest, and you can choose these jewels. So that's the second way. The third is Admin and Guild Quest. Alright, so Admin and Guild Quest. Now I do not have any quest, but sometimes when you clear all these Admin and Guild Quests, you'll see that there may be a jewel in one of them. So that's the third way to get jewels. Fourthly is Guild Coins. Okay, you're able to purchase this rare jewel chest, in which you'll sometimes get common up to rare jewels, and then after that you'll have to slowly infuse them, just like your gears, all the different parts. You need to get 4 of them to merge into the higher grade. Yeah, so using Guild Shop. And lastly is to use gems. Yeah, gems you are able to purchase a higher level, up to legendary jewel chest. But I wouldn't recommend, because at 6,000 gem for a random jewel chest, and you might be getting defend and other jewels, which I'll get to it later, which is pretty much useless. So I wouldn't recommend using gems to buy. Yeah, so the out of all the methods wise, other than Guild Fest and Admin and Guild Quest, I would recommend using Guild Shop, Guild Coins, to purchase this jewel chest. And of course, fighting monsters. Certain monsters will drop certain jewels. Maggots doesn't drop any jewels, but I think Hell Rider does. No, Hell Rider doesn't have. So sometimes the monsters like Gargantua and other monsters, they would have a jewel in front, and getting monsters would also drop jewels in as well. So that's the 7 methods of where to get jewels. Okay, then the next part of how to remove jewels. Okay, some players might, out of curiosity, try and meddle a bit with their jewels, and they realize that by pressing inlay, selecting a jewel, inlay, and in, your jewel is embedded inside an equipment or a gear that you may not want because of the composition of the troops and the strategy that you intend to play. So then you've wasted one, maybe a gold jewel inside an equipment that you might not use. So what to do? So don't worry, there's this button called the remove button, but the downside is that you need to have a chisel to extract it out. The good thing about extracting out is that you get to keep the jewel and you can use it for another gear. But the bad thing is all these chisels are very expensive, 4,000 gems, and hard to find. So for example, this blue infantry attack jewel, if I want to remove, I need to get a blue chisel, which is chisel 3, to extract. Failing which, if you do not have all this right chisel, you will lose the jewel, and this is very expensive. So if given the choice, I accidentally embed a jewel that in the equipment that I do not want, I would rather pay using the gem to extract it out so that I can place it in the gear and the equipment that I want, rather than losing the jewel altogether, because it's going to cost you much more longer time and much more gems in order to get back the same high level jewels that you have mistakenly embedded. Okay, so that's how you take out the jewels. Next is jewel colors. Okay, so like all the equipment gears, we have 5 color range, ranging from the white, green, blue, purple, all the way to gold. So which one, what does it mean? So basically, like the equipment as well, is a fusion and split. So at the bottom, the white stands for the most common jewel. Then you move up to slowly to green, which in this case is 4 merged into 1. And from green, which is uncommon, you move up to blue, which is rare. So 4 blue rares makes 1 epic purple color jewel, and 4 epic jewel makes 1 gold yellow jewel. So you can see also the bonus that it gets from gold to purple to blue to green and to white. So if you ask me the question of what jewels do I use and what colors do I wait until I embed into the gear, I would really recommend from blue onwards. Yeah, you can see here. So blue, at least at the rare stage, you have some decent bonus. Not the best, 3% HP, 1% travel speed. Let's look at some more useful gems, which I'll get to it in a while. Defense gems are totally useless. Attack, yes. Okay, so with blue cavalry attack, at least you have 6% bonus, and it gets to 12%, which is the double, and then after that 20, less than double. But if you look at green, it's only 3%, and if you look at white, it's only 1%. So I highly recommend that you do not use any white or green jewels onto any equipment, because they are a waste. Might as well accumulate them to blue at the minimum. So this is a difference between the colors of the jewels. And now let's talk about which are the top jewels to use. Okay, now talking about the best jewels that I would think I would keep and use. They are basically from 4 categories. One is attack speed, attack boost. Okay, so things like infantry attack, range attack, and cavalry attack. I wouldn't consider siege or trap attack as useful because yeah, they are all defensive play unless you are talking about ready trap. Ready trap maybe attack, trap attack, but siege attack is hardly used. So we'll look at infantry attack, and it will be 2 kinds of jewel. One, which is this one, infantry attack jewel, and the other one is terror jewel, which is a combination of both attack and defense. So then we look at range attack jewel, and wild jewel, which is same thing from monsters and is both attack and defense. Then lastly, for the attack jewels would be cavalry attack jewel, and this gargantuan jewel. So this is the first category of jewels, namely attack boost. Second, it will be paid champion jewels, which helps to boost army HP, but I do not have that, so I'm unable to show you. Then the third category would be those monster jewels like I've shown earlier, Gargantua, Terror, and Wild Worm, where they have both attack and defense. Okay, so this is the third category of jewels to keep. And fourth category would be the Swift Hunters. So Swift Hunters are the ones that give damage boost for attacking monsters. So if you come to here under the filter, you'll be able to sort out all the different categories of jewels that are construction speed, research speed, forging speed, food production, gold production, resource, stone, player experience boost. All this I shall not go into the details because I don't think they are useless jewels to begin with. They are not useful jewels to begin with, they are all useless. Only attack, bonus, champion jewel, which boosts army HP, the monster jewels, where it's boosting both attack and defense. Then now we're talking about Swift Hunter jewels. Maybe you can see if I have any of this. Nope. No army attack. Any army defense? No. Army HP don't have. Monster hunt damage boost. Do not have that. Speed Swift Hunter jewel. Yeah, this is the one that I was talking about. So it gives a boost to the max energy and as well as hunter travel speed. So this is the fourth category of jewels that you should accumulate and keep. And the last category would be the HP boost. So they are also coming from monsters. Yeah, so they would include jewels such as Saber, which you will see in this case, boosting your certain army type HP and as well as travel speed. I don't find them as useful as the Gargantua, Terror, and Wild Worm monsters jewel, whereby they boost both attack and defense. This one boosts HP and travel speed, but they are still useful because they are dropped by the monsters and is almost free. Yeah, so it will be Saber for cavalry HP, then Trojan for infantry, and then Grim Jewel for range. Yeah. So these are the top 5 categories of jewels to keep and have. All the others, you can see them here as well. I hardly do not use them. Wall defense, even for cavalry and range defense. If you have better attack jewels, use them because the slots in your equipment gear are all limited. But if you do not have and you happen to have a gold range defense, you might want to use it. But and only if you are a rally trap. Yeah, even then I would still prefer to use an attack boost jewel than defend alone. Yeah, so this is my caveat. So now lastly is the general jewel tips and hacks. Okay, on the general jewel tips and hacks, so there are a list of 7. Okay, so you can see from the screen here. Number 1 is once you get more powerful, let's say from 80 million might and above, then you try to make sure that all your battle gears has only blue jewels and better. So right now my free-to-play account is only around 12 million might, so I do not have any jewels being embedded into any of my gear because I'm not sure whether those will be the gears that I want to use when during the later stage of the game. Yeah, so you can use those common and uncommon jewels and embed them into your gear right now, but like I said earlier, you need to extract them if you want to subsequently use them to merge into rare blue jewels and above. Second is never waste your guild coins on anything other than jewels. We showed earlier that you can purchase this jewel chest using guild coins, so only use your guild points to buy jewels. That will give you a lot of boosts. Okay, so don't use your guild coins for any other things. I do use it sometimes for random relocator as well as migration. Yeah, that's about it. So these are the uses for guild coins. Never put the third tip is never put war jewels into non-war gear. Yeah, this is important. As you can see, some of these are considered non-war gears because they are used mainly for construction speed, resource gathering speed. If you put in an attack jewel, you'll be wasting your time and money. Yeah, you get the idea. Never put war jewels into non-war gear. It's a complete waste. Okay, so the next tip would be don't put mixed infantry attack into a focused cavalry gear. An example would be drums. The drums are cavalry focused, we all know that, right? So don't put in an infantry attack boost jewel inside cavalry, because chances are when you use cavalry troops, you do not need any infantry attack boost. So you should always use the same attack focus jewels in the same attack focus equipment, meaning cavalry drums should be cavalry attack boost for maximum power. Okay, the next tip is if you have army gear that has mixed troops, so it'll be something like this. Okay, so hardened capes, I can't see it here. Hardened capes. Hardened Capiz. I want to see what's the default boost. Okay, so it's considered mixed cavalry and range. Yeah, you can see, and they have an army defense boost. So because this equipment is a mixed army gear, so we can use a mix of different jewels. So like in my case, I had cavalry attack, infantry attack, and range attack, because it's used for all troops type mixed. And because there's only 3 slots, so you want to maximize the damage, so always put attack damage into a mixed gear, mixed army troop gear. Yeah. So the next tip would be, if you have a choice, always focus more on gears than on jewels, because the gears will give you a slightly higher punch that's a lot more easier to get than the jewels. Yeah, so don't be all too caught up in the jewels, getting it to gold or purple. Yeah, focus on your gear, that will give you a more punch. And the last tip is, if you want to be an effective trap, work on your jewels, because the jewels aren't visible to your enemies. So they may see that, oh, your gear is just blue or green, but when they attack you, they are actually attacking someone who has a high army boost through your jewels. Okay, so that's about all. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Till the next time, see you.